Hello, fourth graders. It's me, Miss Leon. I am here with you talking about the next step in our learning about writing our um, historical narrative for our informational writing piece. So I keep tying back to skills that we learned earlier in the year. And something that I want to hit on now is to go back and talk to you guys about a story arc. So when we are learning about the story arc, you guys have picked some seed ideas, and I know this looks kind of sloppy, but I'm gonna flip around. I'm gonna show you guys some of these seed ideas that we came up with the other day. So here's some of the seed ideas that you guys could have possibly come up with for your writing. Now, we have not chosen what our story will be yet, but we do need to make sure that we are understanding what a story arc looks like. So in the past, when we did our story arc for our realistic fiction, remember we have a story arc that looks like this. It has the following elements in it. You have the character that you introduce. You introduce what the characters wants, their motivations, or their desires are. Then you introduce what is the problem, what is the struggle, what is the challenge that the character is having. Then we have the magic of three. So we're going to have one attempt, two attempt, and three attempts at solving this challenge or this problem to get to the solution or the resolution. So solution means something is solved. Resolution, it isn't exactly solved, but it comes to some sort of closing. And then at the end of the story, you then reveal how your character changed or what your character learned. So upon knowing that, you will be creating story arcs for the possible characters that you listed the day before. And remember, we kind of developed three different characters. So you're going to be kind of developing some ideas on three possible story arcs. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick example of a story arc that I could potentially create for my story. Okay, so I'm going to begin by showing a story arc for Abigail. That is one of the characters that I started to develop the other day. And I just put her name right here. But then I'm going to begin with her motivations, right? So I can label that motivations. And I did a lot of this work already yesterday when I was creating a character. And I want Abigail, it said that her motivation is she wants to help the colonists win the war, but she also wants to show that she can help and she can be independent, that that she can be useful. So in her motivations, then I'm going to start listing out what is Abigail's struggle, right? What is the struggle that Abigail has? Abigail is struggling because she is a girl, right? And that is a struggle back then because they were not allowing women or girls to participate in the way that boys could. So she is a girl and she is expected to stay at home. So now that I have found my motivation and my struggle, I'm going to have to start listing some attempts that Abigail is going to make to help solve this problem or overcome this struggle. So remember, we have the magic of three, so we are going to have three different attempts. Okay, so because I'm finding it a little bit difficult to think about attempts, I'm going to go to attempt three, and I'm going to think about the thing that's going to help me get to my resolution or my solution. So because she's struggling with being a girl and she has to stay at home, I also built my character that my character is a daughter of a soldier. So we're going to have that she is that her third attempt is she snuck a letter in her cloak to her dad. That's going to be my attempt 3. And to be honest with you, now that I've done that, it's kind of like helped spark an idea for me on the other 2 attempts I can make before this, so that my character um can be built. So I'm working a little bit backwards, if you will, but it's getting me to where I need to be. So I'm going to build attempt 1 and attempt 2 now that I've actually got the third attempt written down. That's helped me a lot. All right, now that I'm looking at this, I'm going to make my first attempt. The fact that Abigail is at home, she's going to be going into town to help pick up supplies for her family because she's the oldest of 5 kids. So she would be the person that mom would be sending in to be picking up supplies. And then as she's doing that to help participate or to be useful or help out more, while she's doing that and she's in town, her attempt to she's overhearing some of those red coat soldiers, and they could be saying something. And because they're saying something that is of interest to her and potentially dangerous for her dad, she is able to sneak a letter in her cloak to her dad in her attempt to help in the colonist war. So now I'm going to create a resolution. So in my resolution, Abigail is successful in getting the letter to her dad. It's cut off a little bit, but you get the point. And then so at the end of this, storyline plot, we're going to have to add what our character learned or what it is that, how our character changed. So how our character changed or what our character learned. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in. So the lesson that I'm going to have my character learn is even though that she was not a soldier, she was helpful. Now, this doesn't tell you a whole lot of information because, again, this is just a plot diagram. But as we are writing our story, this gives you a good map or an idea, a direction of where you would like to go in your story. So your plan today is to create a story arc for each of the characters that you worked on. So there will be 3 total story arcs for the day. I can't wait to see what you do. Make sure that you put some thought into this because you will be choosing which story arc you like the best out of the 3 that you have made. And then you are going to be building your historical fiction from that. Good luck.